Hello, I'm Christine, and around 2 years ago, I made a video about how book titles are stupid. And at that time, my brain was melting. I was having a baby mental break about what the fork I was gonna call my own book, which has now been out for over a month. It's called Again But Better. It's a study abroad rom-com about a girl who's having a shitty time in college and she tries to go to London, restart, do college again, but better, using the things that she knows she did wrong her first 2 years of college. It was a long journey to this title. I also found the document where I brainstormed names for Pilot, who is the male lead, and I'm just so excited to go through those as well. Let's dive into the fucking process, shall we? So this video will have mild spoilers, I feel like. Some of the titles I picked hinted more heavily at the plot, and I don't like that, because I don't like spoilers at all. I don't like anything, know nothing. I feel like it's most fun to go into most contemporary books, just knowing nothing. So, if you haven't read Again But Better, you can watch this, but you might spoil some of the fun for yourself. Your choice. Cool. When I first started this puppy in January 2016, the book was temporarily called Aboard, About, Above, Abroad. And so many of my dogs are called Aboard, About, Above, Abroad. Can you imagine this being called Aboard, About, Above, Abroad? My first draft was an ode to prepositions. The only relevant thing there was the word abroad. I knew I couldn't fucking name this Aboard, About, Above, Abroad. When I finished the first draft, I had a hardcore brainstorming session. My brainstorming session back then was on the phone with my BFF Katie. I just had a bunch of words that felt relevant, and we were gonna smash them together. And one of the words I had was free fall, because I feel like Shane in the beginning of the book, it feels like she's just in failure free fall. She just has nothing to grab onto, and she's so desperate to find something that makes her feel like she's moving forward. I was really attached to the word free fall for so long. I have so many free fall title options. The free fall that changed everything. We gotta take this off so you can imagine it. Get off. Get off. Free fall into change. The free fall. The inscrutable free fall into infinity. I did this thing eventually that worked much better to help jog actual titles. I would look at titles of books I love and think to myself, if that title was relevant to my book, what would the title be then? And I feel like the inscrutable free fall into infinity was me being like, if the Fault in Our Stars title was relevant to my book, what would it be? What a pretentious fucking douche title that would be for this book. This is way too fluffy and lighthearted for that shit. The lovely free fall into chance. Free fall into chance. Dancing in free fall. Fall through the free fall. Free falling explorer. Oh my god. So I ended up paying homage to these ridiculous free fall titles that I had a hardcore laugh about at the time over the phone by calling another book in the book something with the word free fall in it. Other options I have on this doc. Courage Heart. I remember being stuck on the title Braveheart and being like, oh, how could I make this book a title like Braveheart? Courage Heart. Is it different? I also got stuck on the word dance. Dance across the clouds. What even? And I got stuck. I was like, free fall. Maybe trip. Trip into age. Tripping abroad. It's her trip into drugs. And then my brain fell on the word accidentally. There used to be more book before she actually got on the plane abroad. We start this on the plane to London, but it used to start in college beforehand. And so this is the title I landed on for months. Until 2017, this was called Accidentally Abroad. Accidentally Abroad. And at the time, it felt like it worked. And I also pay a little homage to this title in the book. It's kind of just like an inside joke with me, but now you know about it. As the book evolved and the beginning part got chopped out and her going to London became a little more devious, that title really started to not fucking work at all. When it came time to go on submission, that's when crisis mode came, because I didn't want them to think that I was stuck on this title. But we went on submission with this stupid title with the knowledge that I didn't like this title and we needed to find a new one. So it's called Accidentally Abroad. And then once Wednesday Books picked up the book, I had the crisis. That's when I made this video, Book Titles Are Stupid. I went through a whole nother whirlwind. Title crisis part 2. This time it really fucking matters. So the pressure was really on for phase 2. Like, this was going to be the real title. This is when I really started taking a hard look at the title of every book on my shelf and being like, if my book fell into this title pattern, what would my title be? And honestly, this is the most helpful exercise that I did, because it really starts you thinking. And what you really start to see when you examine your favorite contemporary novels is that a lot of contemporary novels have a character's name in them. Always and Forever, Lara Jean, Isla, and The Happily Ever After, Eleanor and Park. This book is just called 2 names. It has nothing to do with anything, except it has everything to do with everything, because these are the main characters. Anna and the French Kiss. Who talks about this one? The name of the character and a French kiss, because she's in France. So here we go. New title possibilities. If my book fell into those patterns, like what would we want to market here? We got Shane and Pilot go for a walk. They do. They go for walks. It's accurate. It has the characters' names. Does it work? Or the revamped version of that I have as my next option. Because it's really about Shane, not Pilot. Shane goes for a walk. The novel. The children's book. I can just see an illustration. Shane flies to London. In London, Shane goes for a walk. On the walk, she sees double-decker buses. And a cute boy. Shane asks the cute boy, do you want to go for a walk? Shane and Pilot go for a walk. Wow, it really works. Then, of course, I had to look to my mothership of young adult literature that brought me to where I am today, Twilight. The title, Twilight. We've discussed it. Twilight refers to one word in the book Twilight, and it's like, this is the safest time for vampires to be around. So, if my book fell into that pattern, what one word would be on the cover? What one word would be the title? And that's where we came up with groceries. I've pitched this title already in the last video, but like that's where it came from. They go grocery shopping and it's a bonding moment. So groceries. It's where they get their food that they need to live. Groceries. Is it as catchy as Twilight? At this point, I was getting really frustrated because like none of these are working. Nothing's fucking clicking. So I started looking at the slogans. Every book has a catch slogan to grab your attention and like kind of tell you what the book's about. So again, but better, what would you do with a second chance? That's what we landed on, okay? But I started looking at other books' slogans and trying to make my book fit into that sort of pattern of slogan, and then trying to get a title out of that. I remember specifically looking at Anna and the French Kiss. Can Anna find love in the city of light? For my book, I was like, Shane's college experience has been vanilla. Can Shane flourish in London and no longer be a hermit? That was a little long. I decided I had to cut it down. Can Shane redo college? And then that one was like way too short and vague. And then I jumped back to titles because this use of the word vanilla started to spark some new ideas. French watermelon goes to London. Fates, dates, and other mistakes. I kind of like this one. It kind of has a ring to it. The acronym would be FDAOM. Fadoum. Acronym's not good. Fadoum. It was after that my eyes fell upon Isla and The Happily Ever After. Like, what would it be, Shane and? Okay, we looked at Shane and Pilot after Eleanor and Park, and that's just dry. That's just 2 names. Eleanor and Park already did that. Like, honestly, if you read that, you'd be like, what do you mean Shane and the Pilot? Like, what the fuck is Pilot? What would it be? Shane and the what? And that's when the magical word hit me. A word that very much encapsulated the book and at the same time the themes. Again! Shane and the again! And I looked at it and I was like, again feels so right. But Shane and the again doesn't make any fucking sense. Like you could roll with it, but it's not great. From there I went to college again. And next I landed on, can we try that again? And I love that one. And I started like running it by everyone I know. Can we try that again? I love how can we try that again abbreviates as QUITA, CWTTA. And the idea that trying it again is the opposite of quitting. And I was like, guys, QUITA though, CWTTA. And they were like, Christine, it does not spell QUITA. And I was insistent, like, it does! These words abbreviated spell quitta! Quitter! She's not a quitter because she's trying it again! Everyone was telling me that wasn't exactly working, like they liked the idea of trying it again, but not quitta, exactly that wording. So I tabled it for a second, and then I started thinking of again slogans, and then I came up with this gem, college, rinse, repeat, which I did present as an option, and then it ended up being used in the synopsis. Then I went back to again. Primavera and pen, try it again, which I really liked because it rhymed, but it's very long, and you don't know what primavera and pen are. Pilot's name shouldn't really be on the cover. And that's when the golden moment came. When I was like, when I think of this book and the word again, what comes to mind? And that's when the bop it phrase that I've heard so often in my years growing up came into my head. Try it again, but better. Boom, 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 boom. And it was perfect. I was like, that's the book. The sarcasm, the mocking, the self-awareness. And then from that point on, it was like, what version of this goes best as a title? I had do it again, but better. Go again, but better. Try again, but better. The publishing company came back with, how about again, but better? And I took a step back and was like, whoa. You took out all the try that, do that, go that parts and just kept the again, but better part. And at first I was like, that doesn't make any sense without the other parts. But the more I sat on it, the more I was like, dude, it's perfect! It was just the best moment when you finally find the perfect click. And that was the process. It was a process. And I'm gonna have to do the same thing for my next book. I have a title just for now. And it's not gonna be my title. It's my aboard about above a broad title. You know, it's the first one. Because the book's not fully written. The themes come as you write. You have an idea, but you don't know exactly what's going to resonate until you know the story. And then you can take a step back and be like, okay, does this work now? Just so there's no confusion, my second book that I'm working on is not a sequel. It's a completely different standalone. And to wrap this video today, let's talk about a question that I get all the time. Where the f did the name Pilot come from? If you know me, you know that I'm a huge fan of young adult literature, and I've been reading for the last 10 years. I could not give my cast of characters weird-ass names. All other books get to have their weird-ass YA names that we know and love. I want my own. And there's so much like that I put in here. This book is like my ode to YA literature. So, Pilot. I needed a name that was fucking weird, but also cool. And also could have a fun nickname. I had such a brainstorm over the phone with both my mom and my BFF Katie. Here are the winners I landed on here. Okay, I have like a top 8 names that could have been Pilot's name. On the book tour, when Reagan asked me about this, I told everyone Sears because I knew my mom and I had to come up with Sears. But what I had forgotten is that I had morphed Sears into Searston. S-E-A-R-S-T-O-N. Shane and Searston. Searston. Next option I have is Jespin. Jespin. G-E-S-P-E-N. Jespin. I think I wanted the word pen to be in there somewhere. So options included Jespin, Pilot Pen, Spark Pen, Shane and Spark. I think Spark Pen is particularly hilarious though. I could have ran with that, but it would have been weird. Next option, Fellows. First name, Fellows, like fellow with an S. Fellows Pen. Then I had Clark, Caden, Satchel. I seriously considered Satchel. I thought it was hilarious, but Katie told me it was too fucking weird. Satchel Pen! Like the bag? Yep! Axel! Which sounded too much like a jock. Axel. Too manly. And lastly, I had Orion. Also a little too manly. So I landed on Pilot, which I grew to love for a lot of reasons. One, could have a nickname that was fucking weird. Two, it was fucking weird in itself, but it worked for some reason. I like that Pilot Pen is a type of pen. I also really like that the pilot of something is the first episode. It's the first one. And he ends up being Shane's first love. Thank you so much for watching. My name's Christine. I'd love to know what your favorite alternate title was. My book is available now wherever books are sold. There's a Barnes & Noble special edition with 2 deleted scenes, one being the Wrecking Ball scene. And Target also has a special edition where I annotated 2 chapters in the back. They're 2 of my favorite chapters. It's in the second half of the book in Paris. Those editions are only going to be available until they're sold out. So if you're interested in getting them, I would grab them now. The regular edition is available everywhere books are sold. Links are in the description. Thank you so much for watching. I make videos every Tuesday and I will see you next time. Goodbye!